Did BlackRock slip up and create a massive debate about Bitcoin? Or is this hinting towards their secret plan to attack Bitcoin? Well, I'm going to show you a video to start everything off, and you can be the judge of that. Now, let's hope I've got this audio thing cooking here.
We've all heard about Bitcoin, but what exactly is Bitcoin? Let's start at the beginning, around 100,000 years ago. Throughout history, we've used all kinds of objects to help make transactions and store value. From seashells, to shiny metals, to paper notes. That's because the value isn't just in the object itself, it's in how much we agree the object represents. So the object can be many things, even, as it turns out, a string of digital code. The internet changed everything. It connected the world, changing how we communicate, work, shop, and manage finances. It also opened the door to a new kind of currency and asset. Enter Bitcoin, a digital
on pause, or I'm on mute, excuse me. But here's where I wanted to stop it, because this is the first point where they mention Bitcoin and start to get into it here. So notice something here of the vital Bitcoin properties that we all know and love. Notice exactly what they're tying in here. And I want you guys to pay very close attention as to what you think might be a little controversial from this video.
Digital currency not governed by banks or governments, but by its global community of users. And that provided new potential benefits. Bitcoin exchanges happen person to person, anywhere in the world, in near real time and for near zero transaction costs, saving money, time, and opening financial opportunity to those without access to a banking system. Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million Bitcoins.
Now, looky here. Look what we have here. Did you guys notice that? Did you notice what BlackRock is doing here, right? So BlackRock is simply pointing out that there is, quote, no guarantee that Bitcoin's 21 million supply cap will not be changed, right? That's very interesting. Why is BlackRock pointing that specific aspect out? And it has caused a massive, massive debate here in not only just with traditional finance, but with Bitcoin as well. I mean, we've got, the BlackRock, simply just pointing it out here. And, at first it seems harmless, right? It's an educational video that indicates what BlackRock is trying to get across for Bitcoin and, to a lesser extent, greater crypto acceptance, right? So BlackRock obviously is the world's largest asset holder, and they recently just launched a Bitcoin spot ETF. So it's important that their investors had this video in order for them to know. And Bitcoin in particular has seen a substantial increase within the year, over 150%. So the iShares Bitcoin ETF Trust is just another video as to, or just another hint as to why, BlackRock would want to release that, right? But yeah, this is an interesting point here from Brian, that they could mean that the supply could be less than 21 million. Well, if you ask me, I think that we already have less supply than 21 million, right? Satoshi's coins, in my opinion, are already, you can call it a wash. They're gone. I personally believe that if Satoshi were to have the seed phrases for these Bitcoin, he's seen it rise from, less than a cent to, $100,000. And you're telling me that with 1 million coins at a personal level that you wouldn't sell just a little bit, just take a little off the top. Now, granted, maybe Satoshi's a much better person than I am, but at the same time, I do think that these coins are lost and they'll never be never be taken off or taken for sale. So that's at least 1 million. And if I had to guess, I'd guess probably at least like 2 more million as well. So that Bitcoin supply cap of 21 million could be less, but in my personal opinion, I don't think this is what BlackRock is really getting at here. I think BlackRock is getting at more of, the potential stop that there's no that they could look at stopping from Bitcoin from scaling from its L1 and create a security budget issue in which they're going to try to solve with additional admission, right? So they're going to try to, in my opinion, try to change the supply in some way, shape, or form. Now, will they be successful? Will we get a consensus? We've seen plenty of other projects, of other cryptocurrencies attempt to, really change this. But I just don't think that BlackRock is in the best suited interest here, right? I mean, BlackRock at a certain point, they control the world, right? They are the largest money manager in the world. They've got the largest amounts of assets under management, and they want to stay that way. They don't necessarily want to give up that power. So, personally, I agree with my friends Magoo here that there is this disclaimer that they put out there where there's some limitations. Oh, excuse me, I don't know if this. Oh, yeah. So there's no guarantee that the Bitcoin supply. Yeah, there's also no guarantee that the asteroid extinct level an event in your lifetime. So, I mean, I agree here with my friend Bitcoin Bram with this this meme that he posted here because I agree with Jeff Wagner here, where Satoshi being anonymous and not taking profits is part of the legend of Bitcoin. And I think that is, part of the reason why we'll never see a change in that 21 million supply cap. I mean, personally, I just think like I said before, that those keys are the private that seed phrase, excuse me, is lost. The private keys are lost for that for those Bitcoins. So I think that's what the beauty of Bitcoin is. I think the fixed supply cap is really one of the, if not the most important trait of Bitcoin that really just not enough people truly understand. I don't think the average person truly understands scarcity, let alone digital scarcity, because in a digital world, things are meant to be infinite, right? But I think at the end of the day, Bitcoiners have never really thought and have had some sort of spook when it comes to BlackRock. And I think this video is just reaffirming a lot of people's Bitcoiners' belief when it comes to BlackRock, where the hodlers aren't happy about a disclaimer that question the cryptocurrency's fixed supply, right? So one of the fundamentals that there's no guarantee that the Bitcoin cannot be changed. And that's a sore spot, right? Who hold Bitcoin simply for their fixed supply. So it's interesting, right? Because also Michael Saylor was one of the ones that saved this, shared this video, but didn't make a disclaimer, or didn't highlight this point here. Where a lot of people have thought Michael Saylor could be a potential spook for everything else as well. So I mean, it's traditional finance kind of getting into Bitcoin here. So they're learning about it, and traditional finance really doesn't believe in the movement that is Bitcoin, right? Because how has traditional finance always profited money? They've profited based on inflation, right? That 2% inflation that is the Fed's quote unquote target every single year. Well, if the S&P 500, if whatever you invest in can beat that, then they're perfectly happy. They're making money, right? So all you have to beat is this 2% target. And that is why, BlackRock and others have been able to make their money. They've just simply been able to print more and, make that inflation seem less than what they're able to get on their return basis, right? So I think, there is some sort of positives that have come out to this, right? Where BlackRock's video has indicated that there's more acceptance of Bitcoin and quote unquote crypto. And I think that they've also, released that you need to have at least a 2% allocation to Bitcoin in your portfolio in order to be, successfully diversified and everything else, right? So I think that there's like a few positives that we could take away from it. So I don't want to fully just say that this was an absolute negative because of this one detail that they said, but I do think that it is a little fishy here that they did include that disclaimer that there is a 21 million supply cap, but the big but here is that it is something that can be potentially changed, right? And so based on that, we'll see if that is going to rekindle the debate on Bitcoin scarcity, right? So this is sparked varied reactions within the crypto community, lesser extent, right? I mean, we're Bitcoin only here, boys, but it is sparking a debate here, right? So I think like it will be interesting to see because a lot of I guess crypto people try to use Bitcoin's fixed supply as a negative, and I think that obviously it's one of the more positive traits here. But let's get back into this article and kind of dive into it a little bit further, where obviously we saw it in the video here that there's no guarantee that this limit will change of the 21 million. So Michael Saylor reposting this video, I think, shows the importance of the fix, but he also emphasized the importance of the fix cap for scarcity and the value of Bitcoin. But some critics have suggested that the disclaimer might indicate an imperfect understanding for Bitcoin's immutable nature by BlackRock, which, to be honest, I feel the same way, right? I think that BlackRock has done some research on it, but I don't think everybody in the firm, including the graphics people at this, that help make this animation, really truly understand BlackRock and or understand Bitcoin and the messaging behind Bitcoin and why the importance of that digital scarcity is there, and why that is potentially, if not the most important aspect of Bitcoin going forward. So let's see. There's more articles here that dove into it, where the 21 million debate, saying that it's quote no guarantee, but one Bitcoin developer argues that any change to the Bitcoin's fixed supply will theoretically, while theoretically possible, would it be considered Bitcoin anymore? Now let's dive into that. What does that truly mean? It really does mean that whether big so it's my friend here super testnet. So whether Bitcoin supply cap can be changed, nor depends on how one defines Bitcoin developer. Some say that it can theoretically be changed if several community members, from a node operators and core developers to miners and investors, reach a consensus on a hard fork to meet a new chain. But developers would likely first make a proposal to spark community discussion, to see where consensus was before implementing a real change into Bitcoin Core. So a hard fork would result in community members would all need to come to a consensus here. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we have a hard enough time coming on a consensus as to who's going to lead the United States or other countries around the globe. So I find it hard to believe that we would come to this consensus to completely change Bitcoin. But still, let's dive into what my friend Super Testnet is saying over here. So if the vast majority of node operators, miners, began supporting the new fork, with it winning more market share and hash rate, then they would be operating under a quote new Bitcoin network with an uncapped supply. Still, Super Testnet said while this is possible, resulting in a new chain wouldn't be Bitcoin. The inflation cap is definitional to Bitcoin, and pointing that Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper said, eliminate that, and whatever you have isn't Bitcoin anymore. You might as well ask what it would take to turn Bitcoin into PayPal. Now, I agree with Super here 100%. I think that there is, no way that we should get away from this fixed supply cap. And I think that this is, a big part as to why Bitcoin is very important, or why Bitcoin highlights the digital scarcity, which is very important to everything going forward, right? I mean, at the end of the day, this would not be Bitcoin. This would be some sort of fork of Bitcoin, which I don't think would be anything positive here going forward. And on top of all that, we're getting an opportunity here to scoop up more sats, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we might as well we've got two options here, folks. We could either pack it up. This digital scarcity thing isn't necessarily working, and we're crashing down to 96,000. Or, you could look at it as an opportunity to scoop up more sats. I mean, at the end of the day, Bitcoin's fixed supply here, I think, is very important and very vital to the true mission behind Bitcoin. And, fiat money, the inflationary aspects of fiat money, just give all the wrong incentives, right? It allows you to essentially print more money to inflate whatever it is you have, like real estate, right? Stock market, everything else. It just allows you to dump more money and make everything seem a little bit better than it is, right? So, and one of those things that I think has truly benefited from the fiat ways of life here is health insurance. Well, if I were to tell you, you don't need health insurance, you can find awesome doctors, negotiate bills, and fund those bills through a peer-to-peer funding platform for less money than it ever would cost you. Would you do it? I'll tell you, I would. I think you guys should all go to joincrowdhealth.com. They've got the best place where you can go and sign up for health insurance here early on in your journey. Whether it's entrepreneurial journey, you want to get it for you and your family, you can sign up. You can use promo code Green Candle, and you could do that and get $99 or get 3 months for $99 if you just use promo code Green Candle. Get out of the fiat rat race. Part of doing that is joining Crowd Health and joining me and a bunch of other people in this community that can help you get the care that you need and get everything going forward. And lastly, don't hold your Bitcoin with BlackRock, folks. Do not hold your Bitcoin with BlackRock. Get it off an exchange. And the number one place to store your seed phrase where you could do that is Stampseed. You can use promo code Green Candle to get 15% off. Get your Bitcoiner. Get your favorite Bitcoiner or stocking stuffer here, whether it's a new titanium 100K milestone plate, a seed phrase, even a Bitcoin metal stamp that could help them just, tattoo some of their metal plates. So they've even got a Cyber Hornet, the 21 million titanium plate. They've got a lot of great stuff to get for your favorite Bitcoiner here during this holiday season. So I recommend doing that. Get your Bitcoin off an exchange. Don't you do it using paper. I have this drink here. I could have spilled it all over this. I could have spilled it in my computer if I had it in my notes app. My notes app could have got hacked. Whatever it is, utilize a Stampseed punch plate in order to secure your Bitcoin in the most secure way possible. And don't forget, folks, BlackRock does not control Bitcoin. Whatever they say does not necessarily matter too much. But at the end of the day, they're learning Bitcoin as slower or quicker than everybody else, but just be cautious when it comes to, going all in on Bitcoin when it comes to with BlackRock, right? I mean, be cautious with BlackRock trying to do that, trying to sway you with everything, right? They essentially control the world. So, be very cautious when you're listening to things that BlackRock puts out. And, from my perspective, it's Bitcoin and Bitcoin only. That fixed supply is one of the many qualities of Bitcoin that's going to keep me coming back. So Bitcoin fixed supply, 21 million, that consensus, in my opinion, should never change, will never change. I won't accept it. So if it's your first time here, thank you guys all for coming out. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Join me on the next one, and I will see you guys all very soon. Have a great weekend.